The following content has been generated with artificial intelligence under minimal human supervision. The data presented may contain errors or inaccuracies. The opinions expressed in this content do not necessarily reflect the vision, position, or values of DigiAll. We recommend verifying critical information with additional sources before making decisions based on this content.
Welcome to Digital Tech News. Today is Sunday, December 21st, 2025. I'm Kylie Brooks, and this is where technology becomes clear and engaging. We've got some really interesting stories today that show just how much tech is shaping our world right now. From immigration policy hitting Silicon Valley hard, to AI battles heating up, to what might be the future of both education and entertainment. Let's dive in. Apple and Google are telling their visa workers, don't leave the country. New immigration enforcement could leave you stranded. Trump's AI czar is making waves, and not in a good way. Industry insiders say David Sacks just made everything harder. Google just pulled off something impressive. Their Gemini AI now has 650 million users, and they're crediting one executive for turning things around. A controversial AI-powered school with no teachers and no grades is expanding across the Bay Area. Parents are paying $75,000 a year for it. Disney and OpenAI just announced a $1 billion partnership that could change how we create and watch content. AI-generated video is coming to Disney+. Let's start with what's happening to tech workers. This one hits close to home for a lot of people in the industry. Both Apple and Google sent internal memos to employees on H-1B visas this week with some pretty concerning advice. Avoid international travel right now. And I mean, completely avoid it. We're talking about potentially thousands of workers who can't visit family, can't travel for work, basically can't leave the United States because they might not be able to get back in. The Trump administration's new immigration enforcement includes requiring up to 5 years of social media history review for travelers. US consulates and embassies are already seeing massive delays. Google's memo was pretty direct. You risk an extended stay outside the US. Apple echoed that, saying if you don't have a valid visa stamp, strongly recommend you don't travel. And here's the thing, this isn't just about inconvenience. These companies employ over 300,000 people combined, and they rely heavily on international talent. The administration also slapped a $100,000 fee on new H-1B visas. That's not a typo, $100,000 per visa. For workers already here, there's the added stress that losing your job means losing your visa sponsorship. Union leaders at Google are calling for better protections, especially with layoffs happening. It's a really difficult situation for a lot of talented people who've built their lives here. Now, speaking of the Trump administration, let's talk about David Sacks. He's Trump's AI and crypto czar, and he just managed to unite the tech industry in a way nobody expected. They're all worried about him. Last week, Trump signed an executive order that Sacks largely wrote, and it does something pretty bold. It uses federal power to block states from regulating AI. Sacks's argument is that having 50 different state regulations creates chaos, and he's not wrong about that being complicated. But here's where it gets messy. The tech industry does want federal uniformity, but lobbyists are saying Sacks's aggressive approach has actually made things worse. He's created friction with Congress right when there was momentum building for a real national AI strategy. California had just passed an AI safety law that big tech, Democrats, and pro-business Republicans all supported. That's a rare coalition. But Sacks apparently undercut that whole effort. Industry insiders say he refused to compromise, tried to push preemption language into a defense bill, and when a draft leaked, it sparked opposition from everyone. Governor Newsom called it a con. Republican Governor DeSantis defended states' rights. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene opposed it. And the problem is, executive orders are legally fragile. This one might not actually protect companies from state rules at all. So now there's uncertainty. And as one venture capitalist put it, businesses don't like uncertainty. Some people think Sacks might need to take a different approach if he wants to get anything done. But let's shift to some better news for one company at least, Google. They were at real risk of losing the AI race. OpenAI's ChatGPT kicked off the generative AI boom back in 2022, and for a while, Google looked like they were getting left behind. Alphabet's stock dropped 18% in the first quarter of this year. But then they promoted this guy, Josh Woodward. He's a 16-year Google veteran, 42 years old, from Oklahoma. In April, they put him in charge of the Gemini app while keeping him as head of Google Labs for experimental AI projects. And the results speak for themselves. Gemini went from 350 million monthly active users in March to 650 million in October. That's almost double. They've now surpassed ChatGPT and they're leading in Apple's App Store. What did Woodward do? Well, in August, they launched something called Nano Banana, which is this fun tool that turns your photos into these little digital figurines. It was so popular it actually overloaded Google's TPUs, their tensor processing units. By September, people had generated more than 5 billion images with it. They've also rolled out Gemini 3 and integrated these tools into Google Lens and other products. People who work with Woodward say he's really good at cutting through Google's bureaucracy, which, let's be honest, is famously slow. He gets products out the door faster. Of course, there have been criticisms too. Some of Gemini's image generation has shown bias issues, but Google invested over $90 billion in AI infrastructure this year, and their CEO Sundar Pichai says the momentum under Woodward has been incredible. They're betting big on AI agents, and right now they're winning. Okay, this next story is fascinating and a little controversial. There's a private school called Alpha School that's expanding in the Bay Area, and it's unlike any school you've probably seen. No traditional teachers, no grades, just AI-powered learning for 2 hours a day, and parents are paying $75,000 a year for it. Alpha opened in San Francisco's Marina District this academic year, and they're planning new campuses in Palo Alto and the East Bay because demand is so high. The concept is students use laptops and AI apps for personalized tutoring. They focus on mastery-based learning, so you don't move forward until you've actually mastered a skill. Instead of teachers, they have guides who provide mentoring and emotional support. The founder, Mackenzie Price, started this in Austin after her son got bored in traditional school. She says school should be a place kids love to visit, and kids can learn twice as much in just 2 hours a day. A typical day includes a morning launch, a 2-hour learning block with AI, lunch, and afternoon workshops. Instead of letter grades, they track skills like reading, writing, math, teamwork, perseverance, independence. They use incentives too. Students earn alphas for a school store, and they can earn real money. One 8th grader mentioned that if you get 100%, you get $100 taken from the tuition. A lot of kids invest it. Now there are critics. People worry about screen time. The cost obviously limits access. And some question whether you can really get enough human connection. But US Secretary of Education Linda McMahon visited the Austin campus and praised AI as an individual tutor for each student. One alum from Austin got a perfect 1600 on the SAT and finished high school math as a sophomore. She's at Stanford now and credits the self-directed learning. The guides say this is the future. Price wants to make it more accessible and affordable as they expand. Whether this model scales or not, it's definitely pushing the conversation about what education could look like. And finally, let's talk about entertainment. Disney and OpenAI just announced a partnership that feels like a glimpse into the future. Disney is investing $1 billion in OpenAI to bring the Sora AI video generation tool to Disney Plus starting early next year. This means subscribers will be able to create and stream their own AI-generated clips using over 200 characters from Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars. Imagine being able to generate a 20-second battle between Elsa, Cinderella, and Maleficent right from the Disney Plus app. Disney CEO Bob Iger said they want to thoughtfully and responsibly extend their storytelling through generative AI. Now, AI video is still in early stages. The technical challenges are huge because you're coordinating millions of pixels across frames. Early AI videos were short and pretty rough, but the progress has been fast. Researchers say we'll see 5-minute AI clips by next year and hour-long ones shortly after. Google's CEO thinks high schoolers will be producing feature-length AI films soon. Runway's CEO predicts 60 to 90-minute consistent narratives and real-time creation in the near future. There are concerns, of course. The environmental cost of the computation, the electricity required, it's all significant. And there's cultural resistance too, just like there was with photography in the 19th century and film after that. People worry about authenticity, about what happens when AI can generate content that blurs facts and fiction. But the precedent suggests these costs will come down. Bandwidth used to cost $1,200 per megabit per second in 1998. Today it's 5 cents. Technology gets cheaper and more efficient over time. Whether you're excited or concerned about AI-generated content, it's coming. And with Disney jumping in with both feet, it's going to be mainstream faster than most people think. So that's where we are today. Immigration policy is directly affecting how tech companies operate and how their workers live. AI regulation is caught in a federal versus state battle that might get messier before it gets clearer. Google is showing that even when you're behind in tech, the right leadership and investment can turn things around fast. Education is being reimagined with AI at the center, for better or worse. And entertainment is about to get a lot more personalized and a lot more AI generated. These aren't just tech stories. They're about how we work, how we learn, how we govern innovation, and how we create. Stay informed, stay curious, and keep asking the tough questions about where all this is heading. Thank you for staying informed with Digital Tech News. We'll be back with more updates as they develop.